Well, what is going on, gang? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It's very nice to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got something on the table from REMETTE Knives, or REMETTE Knives. These aren't new. This is the first time I've had a chance to take a look at one. I actually got this from Lefty, Kevin over at Lefty EDC. And I have thoughts. First and foremost, this is the REMETTE Knives Swordfish. It's a lovely drop point blade. It is all titanium. It's got a fancy carbon fiber inlay that apparently you can replace with other colors. It's M390. It's got a very nice pocket clip on it. It's very comfortable. Here's the thing. This is a gravity knife. And in the state of California, in particular, gravity knives are banned by name. So this is entirely against the rules, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, it's cool, but that means that this is in the same category as these. And I gotta tell you, if I'm gonna risk getting in trouble, you shouldn't do that, of course. But if I was going to, I would rather carry one of these. There are states where gravity knives don't fall into the same category as autos, and I'm pretty sure that's what this is for. But you got to know your state's laws, because, well, by way of example, in the state of California, it is legal to own these. This thing is amazing. Combat. Trudon is just, oh my goodness. Anyway, it's legal to own these. It's just not legal to carry them, which is stupid on a level. Anyway, this is the same thing. According to the state of California, this is the same as these. That's just stupid. This whole thing is stupid. I mean, anyway, here's the thing. You got to know where you live. You got to know what the rules are. Okay. Now let's talk about the REMETTE Swordfish for what it is. It is an exceptionally well-made pocket knife. It is lovely to look at. It is great to carry and use. Not that I'm doing that, but if I were, I could tell you that it is thin behind the edge. The coffin-shaped handle is really comfortable. It swells up here, gives your fingers a place to land. There's no jimping, of course, on the blade, but there is some here. So if you push this button, you see those flare, right? Those are the locks. So there's jimping here, which is a great place for your thumb to land, but you can come forward. This is a really nice cutting tool. Now, these aren't inexpensive. This one, about $283 with this inlay. They make a version that's got a fancier inlay that's $305. Here's the thing, though. It's a lot of titanium. This is a great knife. You just got to know whether you can carry it or not. Let's do some size comparisons for things that you may be a little more familiar with. Here it is against the full size Benchmade Griptilian. And as you can see, let's put that right there, and then we can line that up there. As you can see, the grip is just a bigger knife, but that means that it is going to be, well, let's see it up against our old friend the Bug Out. So the Swordfish and the Bug Out have an identical length of cut. You just get a little more handle on the Swordfish, which is nice. What else can we compare it against? I got something coming up in another few videos. Yeah, I'll just show it to you. So this is, let's do a monster size knife comparison. This, of course, is the SOG Seal XR. I've had the Seal XR for a really long time. This one is the Seal XR Tie, which means instead of steel underneath these plastic scales, it is titanium and magna cut. this is fantastic. But as you can see, it is considerably larger than the REMETTE Swordfish. We'll leave it at that. This is a really nice knife. Let's get the basic specs out of the way. You get 3 inches dead on of cutting. You get 3 1/4 inches sort of overall of blade steel, as I said. This is M390, and from what I know about REMETTE knives, they do a really good job on their heat treat. Grip area is the entire length of the knife, so you're coming in at almost, well, 4 1/4 to this line right here. Tip to tail, we are coming in at 7 3/4. Closed length, we are coming in at, what is that, 4 1/2, a little over 4 1/2. In the pocket, it does not take up a lot of room. You were looking at, if we line that up, you're looking at just 1 inch. So, but it is relatively thick. It's thick. It is, in fact, a little over 1/2 inch. These are basically slab-sided, so it doesn't swell or anything. Now you do, well, let's see where the control is. Yeah, 0.6. Okay. I really like this thing. I don't love it because I think that that's kind of stupid. And that's a shame because every other aspect of this knife is absolutely beautiful. Yeah. I mean, what would you rather carry? This is cheaper than this. Don't get me wrong. This is fun, and it is gorgeous, and it is kind of cool. I feel the same way about the REMETTE gravity knives. I just don't get it. From a strictly, it's kind of cool, you should have one sort of model, and it's because I can get all these materials. Well, for instance, this is the Tuya Rackham Jack. Carbon fiber, all titanium, M390. It's just a beautiful knife, right? There's a review on this coming up too. But for less money and less issues, you know, I mean, if something happens out in the wild, let me tell you what the laws are in California specifically, at least for autos. If I'm carrying the Trudon here, and that's, no one's going to bug me. They just aren't. But if I was to get in a fight and this thing came out of my pocket, it is an add-on charge and it's a felony. And what that means is that if this massive chunk slipped out of my pocket in a fight, I'd get in trouble, but they'd be like, yeah, it's a pocket knife. It'd probably be misdemeanor assault with a weapon. This makes it a felony. And I'm not sure I want to get into this makes it a felony for a knife that does that. But hey, you might make up your own choices. I don't really have much else to say about this thing. Let's weigh it because I'm curious where it comes in. It's kind of chunky. Let's start in grams. 123 grams or 4.3 ounces. You know, for a 3-inch cutting, I mean, like I said, it's hefty because it is just all titanium. Look, this thing is cool. It is, I mean, I get it. I understand why people would want them. I'm glad I have it. Like I said, I picked this up from Lefty. And it's cool to have in the collection. I won't be getting any of the other ones just because it's not really my jam, but it is fun to have. If you live in a place where this is legal, you should absolutely get one. As I said, it is spectacularly well made. It is gorgeous to look at. You can, see, I struggle. You can flick it out a little bit. Like if I'm not trying to be on camera and I open up these, right, it's pretty quick. It is. I'll put a link in the description to where you might find one if you're interested, but just keep in mind what the rules are, okay? Beyond that, the REMETTE Swordfish is just another excellent knives from this company. They do a great job. Excellent knife from this company. They do a great job. I'll keep this around and see how I feel about it down the road. If I find that it is making its way into my pocket more often than I thought it would, I will do a follow-up video and tell you how it went. But beyond that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the REMETTE Swordfish. If you have any questions about this knife or any of my knives, feel free to ask down in the comments below. Otherwise, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. We'll see you next time.